Okay then, so we're going to try something new today. Recording in a full-size video, unlike normal where I'm saying this over TikTok. Secondly, let's do a little bit of the process I do while we're trying to come up with a story. So yes, I lean a lot on the Bing AI. So, let's just go on and try to type something in. So I'm going to try, let's do... I need you to write me a 3,000 character story based in the SCP universe with inspiration from Night Vale. So, normally I would do this a couple of times, try get a couple of different ideas on stories and stuff we would do, and we'll have not edit down from what it spits out for me. I know AI stuff can be a bit controversial, but I find the tools very helpful, being I can talk, I can kind of write, but this helps me kind of get more of our scripts together and different story stuff together without just directly reading off a Wikipedia article. So we're going to submit this. Let's see what it comes up with. Alright, so it's going to give us a general story. So I'm just going to read this as it gives it to me. Looks like it is pulling a lot from the Welcome to Night Vale area. If you've never looked that channel up, do it. It's actually a really good channel. It's been around for years. So, let's start this off. The town of Night Vale was no stranger to anomalies. In fact, it was a hotspot for them. The residents had learned to live with the constant threat of the unknown, the bizarre, and the terrifying. They had their own ways of coping, such as listening to the soothing voice of Cecil Palmer, the host of the community radio station, who reported on the latest news and events with a mix of humor, curiosity, and acceptance. But not everyone in Night Vale was content with the status quo. Some wanted to understand the mysteries that surrounded them, find out the truth behind the shadows, to explore the secrets that lurked around every corner, and some of them were willing to risk everything for this test. One such person was Carlos, a scientist who had moved to Night Vale years ago. He was fascinated by the town's anomalies, and he had dedicated his life to studying them. He had set up a laboratory in his old warehouse where he conducted experiments and tests on various SCP objects that he had managed to acquire or create. He was also recruited to a team of volunteers who shared his passion and curiosity. Carlos was not aware of the activities that attracted the attention of the SCP Foundation, a secret organization with the responsibilities of capturing and containing... Whoa, let me scroll back up. Carlos was not aware of his activities that attracted the attention of the SCP Foundation, a secret organization that was responsible for capturing and containing all kinds of anomalies around the world. The Foundation had been monitoring Night Vale for a long time, but they decided to intervene when they learned Carlos was in the possession of some dangerous and valuable SCPs. They had sent a team of agents, disguised as new residents, to infiltrate Carlos' laboratory and confiscate his SCPs. The agents were observing Carlos for weeks, waiting for the right moment to strike. They had learned his routine, his habits, his personality. They had learned that he had a boyfriend, Cecil Palmer, the radio host. They had decided to use Cecil as leverage and force Carlos to cooperate. One night, when Carlos was working late in his laboratory, he received a phone call from Cecil. "Hey Carlos," Cecil said, "I'm sorry to bother you, but I need your help with something." "What is it, Cecil?" Carlos asked. "Well, you see, I was walking home from the radio station and I saw this weird door in the middle of the street. I looked at it and it was made of metal and wood and had a sign that said, 'The Attic.' I was curious, so I opened and went inside." Carlos felt a surge of panic. He recognized the description of the door. It was one of his SCPs, SCP-860-1, a door that led to a forest dimension known as SCP-860-2. He had found it in an abandoned house in Night Vale. He had brought it to his laboratory for further analysis. He has not yet tested it himself, but he has read the reports from other researchers who had entered SCP-860-2, and they encountered hostile creatures, dangerous traps, and distorted versions of their own memories. "Cecil," Carlos said urgently, "where are you now?" "I'm still in the attic," Cecil said. "It's quite nice here, and the trees and flowers and birds, and oh look, there's a slide projector and some slides. Maybe they're from someone's family vacation." "Cecil," Carlos repeated, "I need you to get out of there right now. That place is not safe." "What do you mean?" Cecil asked innocently. It's just a forest. No, it's not, Carlos said. It's an anomaly, a dangerous one. It can mess with your mind and your memories. Anomaly? Cecil said. Like those things you study? Yes, Carlos said. Exactly like that. But how did you know? Cecil asked. Because I brought it here, Carlos admitted. You brought it here? Yes, Carlos asked. Why? Cecil asked. Because I wanted to understand it, Carlos said. Understand it? Cecil asked. Yes, Carlos said. There was a pause. Cecil, Carlos said. I'm sorry, Cecil said. I don't think I understand you anymore. Carlos felt a pain in his chest. Cecil, he said, please come back to me. I don't know if I can, Cecil said. Suddenly, Carlos heard another voice on the line. Hello, Dr. Carlos, the voice said coldly. This is Agent Smith from the SCP Foundation. Carlos gasped. Who are you? He demanded. We're the ones who've been watching you, Agent said. We know everything about you in your laboratory. What do you want? Carlos asked. We want your SCPs, Agent Smith said. All of them. And if I refuse? Then we kill your boyfriend, Agent Smith said. Carlos felt a wave of fear and anger. You can't do that, he said. Oh, we can. We have him in custody. We lured him into SCP-860-2, and we are controlling the slide projector. We can make him see whatever we want. We can make him suffer. We can make him die. Carlos heard Cecil scream in the background. Stop it, Carlos yelled. Leave him alone. Then give us what we want, Agent Smith said. You have 1 hour to bring all your SCPs to the door of SCP-860-1. If you fail to comply, we will terminate Cecil Palmer. The line went dead. Carlos dropped the phone and ran to his car. He had to save Cecil. He had to save his love. So, that's kind of the basics of what I do. So normally, if I'm doing this where I'm not trying to do a semi-live video to test some stuff, I would take this script and then kind of work it around a little bit. I find the Bing AI with GPT-4 tends to do a lot of dialogue back and forth, kind of like that whole stretch of, but how did we know? How did you know? Cecil asked. Because I brought it here, Carlos admitted. And it's a back and forth between two people, and it just keeps repeating their names. So a lot of times I would drop those in my editing. But that's pretty much it. I get a story. Sometimes it's a story I find in my own writings from years ago. Sometimes it's just a random SCP article or something random idea from some random anime or like I've read or watched. Or something like this, where I've just kind of put in two different things into ChatGPT. Here via Bing, because Bing can do GPT-4 for free versus having to pay $20 a month for OpenAI's direct one. And then I do the story, and then I edit it. Not much. I do a lot of my editing just straight up in OBS where stuff is connected. So that's gonna be it. If you like this, please like, subscribe, cross-posting this on TikTok, so over there, follow and heart, do whatever you need to do. I need to build some more followers, especially on the YouTube side, but we're getting there. It's only been going for a couple of months now, so I'm doing better than I thought. So thank you, everybody who's been watching, everyone who's been subscribing, everyone who's been following. I don't get a lot of comments, but I do get some, and people seem to like what I'm doing. So thank you. Thank you, everyone.